we're going to say this. If and only if you are following these prescriptions in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, where you're trusting in him, where you're leaning not on your own understanding, where you're acknowledging him in all your ways. If you are following those prescriptions in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, then here are some indications that something may be a sign from God. The first one is what we call the fulfillment indicator. The fulfillment indicator simply says this: ask God to put a sign on your heart. If he does, and it comes to pass, it can be a strong indication that is a sign from God. So you see, sometimes people ask, should I give God the sign, or should I just allow God to do any sign he wants to do? Look, we're not here to control your spiritual lives, but here's a recommendation. Ask God to put a sign on your heart. No, ask God to put a sign on your heart. And if you pray for that sign and it comes to pass, it can be an indication that this is from God. Number two is what we call the coincidences indicator. The coincidences indicator. Look out for highly unlikely coincidences, especially if it is an unlikely coincidence, especially after prayer. This can also be a strong indicator that it is a sign from God. Again, I'm emphasizing, assuming that you're trusting the Lord with all your heart, leaning not on your own understanding, acknowledging him in all your ways. Remember, we're keeping that in mind. Number three is what we call the patterns indicator. The patterns indicator. If you keep seeing something repeat itself over and over and over again, especially after you prayed in relationship to the thing that you have prayed for, this can be a strong indication that it is a sign from God. Again, assuming you're following Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Number four, the fourth indicator, and the fourth and the final one, is what I call the closed doors indicator. So for example, if you're praying for something and if a door to one of your opportunities closes in a very strong way without your intervention, and after you've tried everything to open it back up, this can be an indicator that it is a sign from God.